Before we start today's episode, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly listened to someone who lived right beside you? Not heard them, not replied to them, but listened. Because today's film RN is not just about crime, it is about silence. So, welcome to Cinema Notes. Let's begin with the basics. RN is a Tamil crime thriller released in 2025. The film is written and directed by Praveen K, and this is his first feature film. The lead role played by Vishnu Vishal, who also produced the film under his own banner. Along with him, the cast includes Selvaraghavan, Shraddha Srinath, and Manasa Chowdhury. The film runs for about 134 minutes and is now available to stream on Netflix. On IMDb, Aryan holds a rating of around 6.3 out of 10. So, now that we know what the film is, let's slowly move into how the world reacted to it. When Aryan released, the response was mixed. Some critics appreciated the bold idea, the psychological angle, and the attempt to tell a crime story differently. Others felt the film lost balance in parts and could have been tighter in its storytelling. But among audiences, especially crime thriller lovers, the discussions were intense. Some connected deeply with the emotions, some questioned the logic, and some couldn't stop thinking about the villain. And that itself tells us something. So, now let's talk about the story without spoiling anything yet. At the center of Aryan is a strange announcement. A man comes forward and declares that he is about to commit the perfect crime. He doesn't hide, he doesn't run. Instead, he gives clues. Clues that pull the police, especially DCP Arivudai Nambi, into a dangerous game. On the surface, this looks like a cat and mouse thriller, but slowly the film shifts. It stops asking who will be caught and starts asking why did this person reach here. Before we go any further, from this point on, we will talk about scenes and details from the film. So, if you haven't watched RN yet, this is the right moment to pause and come back later to listen the rest of this episode. So, let's talk about Narayanan. Narayanan is not shown as a loud villain. He is quiet, broken, invisible. After his wife dies, he becomes silent. He has no one to talk to, no one to share his dreams with, no one to tell him that his pain matters. He wants to be a writer, an author whose words are read, whose voice is heard. But publishers reject him. And the most painful part, even his own son does not read the book his father wrote. That moment tells us everything. He is ignored inside his own house. Now, think about this. If his son had noticed him, if someone had asked him how he was doing, would this story have gone this far? That silence is where this crime is born. Narayanan doesn't kill randomly. He gives clues. He wants the police to follow him. He wants to be seen. And the victims? They are killed when they are doing what they most love. One is in their passion, another in their routine, another in their world. That detail is important. To me, it shows something strange but human. He does not want to erase them. He wants the world to notice them, even after death. There is a small object in the film, the lighter. Narayanan knows that Nambi smokes. He knows his habits. He knows him deeply. And that same lighter ends up saving both Nambi and the woman activist. That tells us something subtle. Narayanan didn't want everyone to die, especially not her. Sometimes it feels like he knows people better than their own families and friends. That's what makes this story uncomfortable. Aryan does not justify murder, but it asks a hard question. Do we create our own villains by ignoring people long enough? The film talks about thankless jobs, forgotten people, missing persons no one searches for seriously. If people had paid attention earlier, many lives could have been saved. The crimes are wrong, but the pain behind them is real. And that is where the film stays with you. Now, this part is only my feeling as a viewer. For me, Narayanan's crime feels perfect. Not because it was clever, but because it was ignored until it was too late. He didn't want to be a killer. He wanted to be recognized. If his son had shown interest, if society had listened, if love had reached him earlier, this story might never have existed. What he did was wrong, but what happened to him was also wrong. That thought stayed with me long after the film ended. This is just my view. You may feel differently, and that's completely okay. So, before we close, let's talk about the people behind this film. Director Praveen K. For debut director, this is an ambitious story. Choosing emotion over spectacle is a brave first step. Vishnu Vishal, as DCP Nambi, he plays calm, controlled, and grounded. Fans of Radsan will notice how he understands the crime thriller space. Selvaraghavan, as Narayanan, he brings silence instead of noise, and that silence is terrifying. The music by Gibran, the score carries tension and emotion, sometimes loud, sometimes haunting, but always present. And the box office and some facts. The film opened with decent numbers and performed respectably for a psychological thriller. The shooting took a long time, showing how carefully the film was shaped. These details may not change the story, but they add respect for the effort behind it. Aryan is not a film you forget easily. It may not be perfect, but it asks questions we don't usually like to answer. So now I ask you, was Narayanan only a criminal or a man who was ignored for too long? Share your thoughts. I want to hear them. This is Cinema Notes, and until the next film, watch closely.